Agreed. Greetings and salutations. The universe is just doomed. 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 Doomed.
Two, Freddy's coming for you. 3, 4, better lock the door. 5, 6, grab a crucifix. 7, 8, gonna stay up late. 9, 10, never sleep again. 'Cause Freddy's coming for you.
For 40 years.
40 years.
Freddy has been coming to you in your nightmares.
Just about. For
you guys,
yeah.
I had a little, this is Nicole. Hi, it's me, Nicole.
Hi, and me, Tessa.
And Kim's here, and
Liana's here. We are all here together.
Because even though for you guys it's the middle of November.
Yeah, it was 2 weeks ago, but in real time, we're celebrating my birthday.
Yeah, it's not even Halloween yet.
No, it's not. It's not. It's not even my birthday yet, to be honest with you. But it's the weekend before.
It's a great vibe for Halloween stuff this weekend. It's technically Halloween weekend because Halloween happens on like a Thursday. So this is the last weekend before Halloween.
Exactly. In fact, it was too goddamn hot to wear my Freddy sweater, so I could only wear my shoes.
She's got her Freddy shoes on. Liana's got her Freddy t-shirt on.
Yep.
I don't have any Freddy merch.
That's okay.
Kim, I don't think has any Freddy merch.
Okay. She grew her nails out for the occasion.
She'll be scratching occasionally on pieces of metal in the background.
Yes. And apparently that little nursery rhyme was credited to Heather Langenkamp's boyfriend at the time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I have his name written down here somewhere. I'll say it at some point. But
me and Barbara in middle school, she had a little brother who was really scared by, and even though I had not seen this in middle school, I knew enough from clips and whatever that I'd seen of Freddy that we used to scratch down. They had conjoined bedroom walls.
Oh, like,
and we would scratch down the wall while singing the 1, 2, Freddy's coming for you. And he would just scream, "Stop it!"
It was
I know it's you. And
it was scary because I was 10 years old.
I think we were doing this to like a 7 or 8 year old.
Yeah, no, I was. Well, when I saw the movie, I was 10 years old.
So yes, to give the blame where blame is due for you and Liana.
Kathleen Garcia.
It's your fault.
Showing these girls too young, A Nightmare on Elm Street.
Well, so was she.
Right. So it's not like she was the older girl.
She was the same age as the rest of us. She was also 10. She had like older siblings.
Yeah.
I was the eldest sibling, so I didn't have one. You had one, and she had at least one. Two. That's correct. And she showed me at least Nightmare on Elm Street on their little VHS tape in her room.
Yep.
Right down the street from your old house.
Yeah. We watched it in her garage.
Oh, yeah. No, we watched it in her room. She's like, "Have you seen this movie?" And I was like, "No."
Oh.
Yeah, we watched it after we were done playing Miami Vice.
Yeah, no. I feel like I was at least 16 before I saw the first one in its entirety. And I told you it was because my little brother moved in when my stepbrother when I was 16, and he was really into horror. And I think he watched the Breckenmeyer one.
Oh, which one is that?
Where they're in the video
Dream
game
Master?
Where he's like watching he's playing a video game and then Freddy's in it and then he's in the video game. He's like the stoner kid.
Or is that Freddy's Dead?
That's Freddy's Dead, I'm pretty sure.
Because I don't remember seeing Breckenmeyer today because I had an entire day.
Final Nightmare.
Okay, yeah, that's Freddy's Dead.
Freddy's Dead, Final Nightmare. So I saw that before I saw any Freddy movie.
Wow.
And then went back and started watching the Freddy movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like Child's Play. It's like the first one is actually scary, but the rest of them are kind of campy and fun.
Right. Yeah, this one was, it's definitely got its camp funny moments in this one, but he gets more, he doesn't get a lot of dialogue or anything in this one.
He only has like 7.5 minutes of screen time.
Yeah, you don't see him a ton. Yeah, it's more just the thought of Freddy.
Well, that's what does it to you. It's just thinking about him. It's just dreaming about him. He'll come at you in your dreams.
And since we're probably not ever going to get to New Nightmare, I have to tell my New Nightmare story, which was that one I saw in the theater.
Yeah. And that one's good.
It's
good. It made him scary again.
I was 14 or 15. And before we went to go see New Nightmare, it was like a group of friends from Drumline. We were all going to go see it together. But me and my boyfriend were working on a school project in my room.
Yeah.
And we're writing on poster board, and he flipped the poster board over and it poked me in the eye, and I thought,
that's
I
right.
had shut my eye.
That's right.
And that it just like poked me through my eyelid. And even though my eye wouldn't stop watering, we went to see New Nightmare anyway.
Of course.
And when I got home at midnight, my eye was still watering, and my mom was like, we're going to the urgent care or whatever, the emergency room. And my eye was open, and I had a cut from the cardboard or whatever, not cardboard, but
the
poster board. So a thick cut.
Yeah, a nice little
in my eye. And I got some really good painkillers.
Oh, I bet.
And a patch.
Oh, shit.
And I tried to go to school the next day on these painkillers.
Just like Nancy tried to go to school the next day after like hearing her best friend get butchered.
And I fell asleep in drumline class while everyone was playing drums. And they called my mom to pick me up. No, I didn't have any dreams. I got Freddy Krueger in my eye right before I went to see New Nightmare. And yet I found it, I didn't want to leave. Like I sat there with a tissue, just a soaked ass tissue as my eye just continued to drip.
Good
and watched it
movie. It was.
Like I remember really liking it.
It's scary. I feel like it's scary.
And it had one of them creepy kids in it, right?
Oh wait, what kid is that?
God damn
it. Is that the Pet Cemetery?
I think
kid?
It's the Pet Cemetery kid.
That fucking kid.
Yeah.
That fucking kid.
Yeah.
He's got a weird name, and I can't remember what it is, but he's got a Nico.
And he still does, Nico.
Miko,
yes,
Miko Hughes or something like that.
Yes, I think that's right. I think that was him. So that's my only like Freddy memory story really is going to see New Nightmare.
I can't remember if I saw that one at the but I do remember watching that grainy VHS tape and seeing that body bag scene, and just like my entire life to this day, Kathleen.
Yeah.
Nancy.
So speaking of Nancy,
right? This is a Wes Craven movie.
We're giving you a new name, Wes. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry about it.
Robert Englund, Wes Craven.
Yeah,
whatever.
you mold them up together. But Heather Langenkamp as Nancy Thompson,
John Saxon as Lieutenant Thompson,
Roni Blakley as Marge Thompson. Is she related?
I looked it up, and I don't
No?
think she's related
Okay.
to the Blakeleys.
Okay, all right.
Amanda Wyss as Tina Gray.
Jsu Garcia.
Yeah, I'm not sure how to pronounce that one.
Well, he was billed as Nick Corey as Rod Lane.
Oh, and then I guess he's
Jsu,
either changed
that
his
had
name
to
or
have
went
been his
back
real
to
name.
Yeah. Johnny Depp in his very first role, right?
Yeah, this
as
is
Glen Lance.
his feature film debut. So
Yes.
not his first role, and
But
he
his
got
first
the
film.
job because of Wes Craven's daughter.
Thought
'Cause
he was hot as hell.
There was other ones: Charlie Sheen, John Cusack, Brad Pitt.
Yeah, I watched some of that documentary you sent me, and that was
Right.
what Wes Craven said was that basically his daughter was
daughter.
like, "Are you kidding me? It's got to be Johnny Depp."
Kiefer Sutherland, Nick Cage, and C. Thomas Howell.
Okay, all right. I could see C. Thomas Howell up in there.
Oh, for sure, for sure.
I don't know about in that crop top.
Crop top. Well, Nancy, she beat off Jennifer Grey, Demi Moore, Courtney Cox, Tracy Gold, and Claudia Wells, along with 150 others. She beat out 200 other actresses to be.
And that's why
Nancy.
she's apparently an asshole, according
I guess
to Liana.
so.
She knows.
When you beat Tracy Gold one time,
right?
That's
got
why
better than gold.
right?
Guess we're not
Better than gold. Is that what she goes by?
social media when we post.
Yeah.
She has a fucking card that's like not the fucking Heather Langenkamp.
Yeah.
Better than gold.
Better than gold. Yes.
And that's why Demi Moore is coming for that horror spot.
yeah, she's
the
coming after
substance.
that. I think the only ones I have left is Charles Fleischer as Dr. King, which you said it's Charles Fleischer's 4-time club for us.
Yeah, 4 times for us. And Roger Rabbit, Dick Tracy,
Demon Knight.
Demon Knight, not Dark Knight. What the fuck, dude? And this. So he's in our 4-timers club.
And of course, Robert Englund.
Of course.
Freddy
as the
Krueger.
and the Lynn Shay, who I found out is the sister of producer Robert Shay, who has done so many of these nightmare movies. But if Lynn Shay shows up, It's about to be fucking spooky.
Oh, okay.
And she's now like established scream queen.
Scream queen.
Scream queen.
In case you can't tell, we've been celebrating before we started.
We had an abundance of meats and cheeses.
And maybe some alcohol.
A little bit.
So yeah, we're
loose. We're ready to go.
We might be stumbling over some words, but we're into it. We're here for you.
We're into it. We're
Elm
here
Street.
for you. Elm Street. Boo.
Let's get into this nightmare.
Let's do it.
So before we ever get introduced to Freddy or see his face or anything, we get to watch him make his glove.
Right. And this is not Robert Englund's hands.
No.
Nope. It's not him the first time you see it. And both this and the effect where he comes through the wall, it is not Robert Englund. Yeah.
Right. And he's already chasing Tina through her nightmares.
Oh, yes, because Tina is asleep.
In this wet-ass boiler room.
Everything is always so sweaty and wet. The
so
alleyway
wet.
is wet. The walls are wet.
Is there something about his face is wet?
It's hot.
That stops throughout the series, but
It
in
does.
the first...
He stops being so wet.
He
but
was
in
very
this one,
wet
he's
for a
very
burnt
moist.
man. Yeah.
He's very wet for a burnt man.
Maybe he had salves on.
Oh, a salve.
Maybe he had some burn creams on. Because he was gooey. He was gooey faced.
It was a bunch of KY like it always fucking
man.
is. When
Always
she
with
pulls
the
his
KY.
face off, it's KY that helped it slide.
Of course. And so yeah, through the boiler room, which I guess was the boiler room at a local prison or jail.
Closed down in Lincoln Heights, I think it was.
Well, and then I don't think they found out later it was not closed down. Yeah. They let them film in there, but I guess it was not a closed down jail or something.
That's just what they told the inmates.
Right? They're like,
oh yeah, no, it's still operational. We're
sure it is. Sure it is. So we get this long kind of drawn out where we don't get to see his face. You get glimpses, shadows.
Right. He's just
She's
sneaking
scared.
around in the background.
And
there's
then-
like lambs. They're screaming.
The lambs,
They're
Clarice.
screaming, Clarice.
Running around an operational jail.
Yeah.
At some point in time, Freddy Krueger.
Yeah, could
Apparently.
you imagine being an inmate and seeing that shit?
And you
Like
look
they
out
let a
through the
lamb
bars.
loose, a screaming fucking sheep loose in there. Everything's wet.
Well, in all these neighborhoods, they said they didn't really have. It's not that they didn't have permission, but like no one warned the neighbors.
No.
That a half naked girl would be
No, no,
screaming
no,
and
no.
running down the street
And
covered in
we've been
blood, and
there.
that Freddy. Yes, we've gone and
We've gone to
seen
the house,
Nancy's
the
house,
Elm Street house, and also which we didn't realize at the time or didn't look at, but Glen's house is there, Tina's house is there, like
right? Because they
everything's
were
all
right
there
out
on the same street.
right out the window.
And it's not Elm Street. It's not what it's called.
No, it was. I can't remember the name of the street, but that's not
Genesee.
it. It's in like West Hollywood.
Yeah, it's something Genesee Avenue or whatever. But like that's common knowledge. I'm not like giving something away.
So when Tina wakes up from her nightmare, she's got slices in her nightgown.
I know her like haggard mom. Like they both got a couple of haggard moms. Is that why
They're both alcoholics.
Is that why Nancy and Tina are friends? Thin lip Tina. Thin lip
15-year-old.
15-year-old Tina. I beg. I beg.
23 if she's a
She's
day.
a hard 23. Even
She looking-
at that.
she looking 28.
15. And then you see teenage high school student Rod Lane. Are you fucking kidding me?
Oh, he was at least 30. Yeah, they're supposed to be like, they're all supposed to be 15.
Sure.
And Nancy's really the only, well, I guess
She's
Johnny
20.
Depp maybe.
No, he had to have been older.
But
he just
no,
has
I
that
just mean
baby
like I
face.
could buy it as a
Oh,
baby
yeah.
face, as a teenager.
Yeah.
Nancy for sure.
Those
she had
two, yeah,
still
yeah.
that softness in the face that you,
Oh, yeah.
the
She
plumpness.
had that little baby face of hers. In fact, that whole rundown of all these other girls that were named all kind of have a very similar look.
Right.
Where they, I guess that's what Wes Craven wanted, like a girl that looked.
He said something
cute,
about he
but
wanted her to be
also
cute, but look
smart,
really
like,
intelligent,
right?
and
that
like
you
she
would
could
believe that she would. Do
I mean,
all
in
of
a way,
these
this
things.
was one of the earliest feminist horror movies because, like, she isn't in need of help. Like,
No,
she is
she's
like, she
like-
needs the help of her friends, but
Well,
it's not like because
sure.
she's helpless.
No,
it's
no,
like
no.
I have a plan and it includes other people.
Exactly. And if you don't want to do it, Glen. If you,
But
can't make
stay
it,
up to
Glen.
midnight, a teenager who can't stay up till midnight,
Right?
Glen.
Is his mother giving him Benadryls?
I gotta yell at my kids.
Maybe.
To go to bed.
I know.
Right?
There's no way my teenager
You've been
goes
up
to bed
for
before
4
midnight.
days. Go to bed.
Seriously. So Tina wakes up and grabs her crucifix, and just in time for us to hear the chant we opened with.
Right.
The 1,
1,
2,
2,
Freddy's coming for you.
Right.
cut to her getting out of a car driven by Glen with Nancy and Rod in it.
Exactly.
Or no, Rod wasn't
Rod's
in the
not
car.
there.
Right there.
They're all getting there. They're going to school, and they talk about. It
Her
reminded
nightmare.
me of that. Yeah, her nightmare, but it reminded me of that old jump rope rhyme. So they're aware,
right,
of
the Freddy rhyme,
the Freddy rhyme, and whatever.
Well, and how old were they? I mean, sorry, spoiler. Their parents killed Freddy. How old were they when that happened? Was this before? Because she said a bunch of us parents got together. So this is when they're babies?
There was supposed to be, there was a whole nother story in which there were older siblings, and those older siblings are the ones that got killed.
Because none of these kids had siblings.
No, but there was a whole nother storyline where there was older siblings that got killed. And also, not only did Marge and all of them take part in this, but Marge was the one that like killed him dead.
She seemed like the leader based on when she tells the story.
And why would you if you ain't got no kids?
20 years before.
So why?
So she wasn't even a parent.
She would have been a teenager.
Yeah, that was 5 years before she even had a kid. So yeah, math ain't mathin', but whatever.
But yeah, those were options. There was an option where there was an older generation of kids, because she says like 20 or 30 fucking kids in this neighborhood.
Right.
In this one neighborhood.
When it's not until you get to 3 where they say the reason they're coming after those kids is they're the last generation of Elm Street parents'
he's
kids.
Going after, exactly.
He goes back to going after his children.
Right.
But in 2, he's just like becoming that kid, right? Like he's trying to get that kid to become him. 2 is like
a one-off.
Yeah, it's kind of its own.
2 is like a one-off. It's like its own. Like he's in the house. He's in Nancy's house, but it's.
Yeah, that's right. And he finds her diary and all that stuff. Yeah. So Nancy, she also had a bad dream.
Right.
And they're talking about that.
They've all had bad dreams, but they don't all admit it.
No.
At first. Like they're all talking about like, oh, you just, it's no big deal. It's
maybe
just
there's an earthquake coming.
Right. And that is a thing that comes up in New Nightmare, the earthquake thing.
Yes, it does. Because there is there's an earthquake,
right,
but it's
there's several.
Something
and she doesn't
cracks
know if
the
it's
wall.
actually for real or not there or whatever.
That's right. So now Tina has Nancy and Glenn sleep over at her house because she can't. She's like, I'm scared of this nightmare. Whatever. My mom
is taken
my
off.
slut mom's going to Vegas for 2 nights.
She's dressed like a riverboat waitress. Why not?
Even though her mom woke her up from a nightmare the night before with slits in her fucking clothes.
Right.
Like,
she was like, trim your nails. I bet.
How fucking sharp are Tina's nails? Oh my God.
What?
To rip fabric?
What? And you're telling me that you were that sharp-eyed, ma'am, because she didn't even notice.
Right?
Okay. All right. You know what? She didn't go to Vegas. You know where she went? Atlantic City.
Yeah, probably. So Glenn has to call his mom to tell him he's sleeping over at his cousin Barry's house by the airport.
I can't believe that Glenn's parents let him stay. And she's like, well, not exactly.
And I'm sorry, he started the phone call with just the music blaring.
I know.
After his mom answers, you hear the tape eject, another tape get cluck, 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 cluck in, and then suddenly it sounds like the airport.
Like it cut to.
How dumb is your mom?
Very.
How dumb is your mom, Glenn?
Very.
You didn't even start the tape before the phone call? And then it becomes.
And you didn't listen to the fucking tape before?
Because then it's racing sounds and screaming and bombs.
And explosions. And there was an accident. I guess I'll call the police.
And
Mom.
really?
And you're not going to call like your sister, or
whoever
your
the
brother-in-law
cousin's
or whatever,
parents are?
What the fuck is going on outside?
I know. What the fuck do you think is happening here?
So do Glenn's parents care or don't they? I don't know.
You know what? You're right. And when you're right, you're right.
And then Tina mentions the fingernail scratching, and Nancy suddenly remembers.
Yeah. You know what? Now that you remember. Really?
He had these like finger knives.
Yeah, they weren't really like fingernails. It was more like finger knives. And he was like scratching it on things like.
And she's so chill about it. If you had a dream about Freddy Krueger without knowing what Freddy Krueger was as a teenager.
If you had a dream and you were describing it to me and I was like, wait a minute.
Finger knives, and you're like, fuck, I had a finger knife striped shirt.
That's weird.
Dude,
yeah,
dream?
like
That's
it looked exactly the same. Like maybe we should explore this.
But Glenn's
this
like, that's
problem.
impossible. It's impossible.
Well, yeah, but his face, you could see when they talk about the finger
He never
knives
does
or whatever.
admit. He never does admit.
He never
he had
fucking
a
does.
Dream. No.
But his little face, his adorable little fucking face that it used to be. That it used to be.
I know. He fought the hot so hard, it's just gone forever.
It took over. It won. I
think he got new teeth finally.
Oh, I heard that.
Are they large?
No, I don't think we've got we don't have a Matt Dillon something about Mary situation happening, I don't think. I think they're appropriately sized, but yeah.
God.
So they start hearing a squeak on the window, and they all go outside to check.
They're all, hold on a second.
This
what the fuck is that?
I don't know how they know. Like, Rod obviously goes to school with them, but like, it doesn't seem like he's friends with Glen.
He's not friends with Glen.
But he's gonna tackle him out of the dark into the grass.
I will put your ugly lights out.
That seemed like something he just said, and they just left it in.
They're like, fine, fucking whatever. I'm sure it was a shoestring budget.
Probably. And Rod figures out that Tina's mom ain't home.
Oh, wait, is your mom here? Of course.
No, I don't think she is.
And
what are
he
these
was
two
like,
doing here? Is this an orgy?
Maybe a funeral. Oh, hey, click, shrink, shrink. I got a knife because I'm tough and I got acne. And Nancy's like, we're just hanging out, Rod. Click.
I know, she puts it back in.
Glen was just leaving. Like, what the fuck? Who are these people?
I don't know. And Nancy's like, let's just go. She's got him here now, but Tina runs back out like, no,
don't leave me with him.
And he like comes and covers her mouth and drags her to the bedroom, and she's just like giggling.
They're making up.
This is how they make up.
They're making up because she told him earlier at school. He was like, I had a hard on with your name all over it. And she's like, there's 4 letters in my name, Rod. How is it going to fit?
There's no way there's enough room on your Rod for that.
Cold-blooded.
And now Glen wants to get down, but Nancy's like,
I know. She's like, we're here for thin lip Tina.
Nancy's apparently like a virgin. I don't know. I don't know.
She didn't even she went up and slept in fucking Tina's room.
They didn't even sleep in the same bed.
She couldn't take that chance. She couldn't take that chance. You're sleeping next to 1984
to a young Johnny
Depp.
You are going to let him in your panties. So
there's going to be one of those neon signs.
She just doesn't trust herself around him.
There's going to be an expressway. There's going to be like a what do you call it? A shuttle.
And at 2 a.m., Rod and Tina are banging so loud. And I'm sorry.
I know.
A 15-year-old
I know.
girl.
He is not doing it to you like that. Nope.
You are a good faker, Tina.
Not even as early 20-20-year-olds. He fucking doing it like that.
Trying to impress Glen with how loud he can be.
Screaming. She's just screaming to make a fucking yeah. And I guess this was an actual experience that Wes Craven had in college, I think it was, where he had to lay there and listen.
Well, one of his roommates got laid.
Yeah.
Well, apparently, if you watch that documentary, Freddy Krueger is his his dad.
Yeah.
And
also it's a bully that was on
a bully. It's like a combination of his dad, a bully,
and it's not the first time that's shown up. In Last House on the Left, the 2 guys were Fred and Krug.
Yeah, and
the guy's name is literally Fred Krueger.
Just so you know, Fred Krueger.
I don't know.
I hate you.
Right. You were a bully?
I will make multiple films where you are the evil one.
An entire fucking franchise that is beloved, and everyone's going to know that you're a child murderer.
Yeah, but guess what? He's a child murderer, but people love Freddy.
I know. Well, he was supposed to be like a child molester.
They say that in number 3, but they just say it quickly that he's a murderer and molester, but they don't.
They backed off a lot of that because he was so fun.
They're like,
we can't
don't want to make it too gross.
Fun. But in the remake, that terrible fucking remake with Kelly Leak from Bad News Bears, he was rewritten as a child molester, child murderer.
For some reason, our listener Nico loves the 2010 Nightmare.
Do you see my face?
Oh, no.
Do you see my face?
And Brett from Dissect That Film was just like, no.
No.
He was just like,
no.
In
object.
Our Discord, he was like, he's like, what did he say? He's like, it was no fault. He's like, it's no fault of Jackie Earl Haley, but
no.
It was not a great script, and it was not.
It was terrible. I will any fucking day, watch Freddy versus Jason over that.
Oh,
I have not seen
and
it.
Twice on Sundays, Jason X I'll watch over that because I love that shit. But the remake, nope, absolutely fucking not. I watched it because I had to.
I watched it because I needed to.
I watched it because I had to.
I watched it one time.
And that was it.
Fuck that fucking
No, it was
movie.
terrible.
Yeah, I've never even seen it. I never.
It
bothered.
nearly sent me into a coma. I should have sued. I should have fucking sued. I don't know who.
Class action lawsuit.
A class action
against the
lawsuit.
Freddy
If
remake.
you almost went into a coma because of the Nightmare on Elm Street fucking remake starring Jackie Earle Haley, you may be entitled to compensation.
So sorry, Nico, but that's what Doom Generation has to say about.
Nope, I'm taking a hard line on that.
The Nightmare on
I'm sorry,
Elm Street
Nico.
remake
We
from
enjoy a lot of the
2010.
same things, but that is not one of them, girl.
That is not
Sorry.
one.
Nope. I wish you well, but absolutely fucking not.
So a noise outside Tina's window wakes
Oh,
her up
so let me
after
go-
her postcoital bliss.
Right, like your
Something's
friends
hunting you.
are downstairs asleep. Your boyfriend just gave you a pretty okay weinering, and he's asleep. He rubbed her outer labia so hard.
That she just was like, stop.
Yeah, exactly.
Please stop.
Started a fucking fire.
Jesus Christ. And a whisper.
Tina.
And why does she go out there? I mean, I know it's a dream, and I guess she
know.
doesn't really have
I
control.
know,
It's like
but
dream
she's still-
senses.
She's
but
like dream stupid as well. She's also stupid in her dreams. You would think.
when you
they
make
show
yourself
us-
smart in your dreams,
They show
Tina.
us in Dream Warriors that everybody's like their best fucking self, but
Right?
not Tina.
No.
Tina.
She don't
She's
have
her
no
dumbest
dream
fucking
skills.
self. No, she has no dream skills. They never get a chance to talk about it with
No.
her.
Third or badass.
And this super cool shot of him popping out of the like wall in front of on top of Nancy's bed, like when she's in Tina's bed, and you see
that's
like just
not
the
him
head
either,
and the
but
hands.
It's like a stuntman or whatever, but they did that with like a neoprene or like
Okay.
latex things or whatever.
was pretty
and they,
cool.
like, yeah, that's one of my favorite shots in the whole movie.
and
is
she
that-
just like she wakes up a little and just hangs that crucifix that fell earlier back up on that spot and kind
and
of
then like
knocks on it. Like
it's like, did she see that shit?
she's like the most rational teenager.
I know. She's like the one of the best, even though apparently she's an asshole. She's apparently like the one of the best final girls.
Yeah.
Until she's not
Until
anymore.
she's not. So Tina goes outside like a
Yeah,
dum-dum.
like well, she's
As
certainly
Freddy's
not a final
calling
one.
for
she's
Tina.
a first girl.
Yes. And here he come
Oh,
with them go gadget arms.
oh my god! And this was two dudes on opposite roofs with fishing poles making the.
That was like, thank God that wasn't your very first introduction to Freddy because
I
that
know.
was a little goofy.
Thank goodness it was that thing through the fucking wall. First.
Yeah, there was the thing
Kind
through
of,
the wall
that
and like
was
the
really
glimpses of
scary.
him in the boiler room and the knife
'Cause
hand.
If that
You saw all
was the
that
first
first.
thing you fucking saw, we'd be done here.
And then his slimy yet burned face. We
Yes,
finally get our
everything's so
first good
wet.
look of his
So
wet, burnt
wet.
face.
Tina,
And she turns around to run, but there he is over there too.
right
He
behind
everywhere.
you, bitch. He's always there.
And he's like, watch this. And he cuts off one of his own fingers and like green
Two of his
blood
own
squirts
fingers.
out.
Like, why?
Just to
And
show
then,
her.
boop, there they are.
Just watch
It's
this.
Dreamland, bitch.
Yeah. And he grabs her before she gets inside. They tumble to the ground. And then she says, I think we're alone. No, just kidding. They tumble to the ground. She grabs his face and it just slides off
right
under
off.
her hand.
Yes,
And it's
I
got that
love it.
skeleton
I
with the
know.
googly eyes
I
underneath.
know.
Oh, and she's struggling. There's like, it looks like, so now Rod's in the room like, what the
He's
fuck?
like,
He
"What's
finally
going
wakes
on?"
up and
He
she's
wakes
like,
up and she's like fucking, and this is when she like raises up to the ceiling or like in the corner of the ceiling, and this
getting
part
thrown
scares the shit out of
she
me.
gets thrown around
Yes,
this room.
and she gets cut, and he sees all this blood and whatever, and then she's like, run,
Getting
and she's
dragged up
screaming
the wall
all
and the
up in the top. And this
ceiling.
is the thing that they do also again in New Nightmare. They do a whole
Yeah.
scene where like the gals
Get
sit-
dragged around.
but they did this with a rotating room, and this is the same room that they use for the Glen's room.
Okay.
Later on, because they were able to turn it upside down and all this
Get
stuff.
all that blood
But
going.
I guess she got like a real bad case of like vertigo. Like she didn't know what end was up,
Right.
And what whatever. And like I guess Wes Craven like popped up out of the floor and was like, "Okay, hey, hi, this is down, that is up. Here I am. You're okay. It's just bloody. It's just
fine,
Freddy.
it's
It's
fine."
fine."
And Glen and Nancy finally get into the room and they just find blood everywhere and Rod
She
is already
falls
gone.
and like it splatters
Splash,
everywhere. Like, I mean, I don't know. They wouldn't have seen anything. All they heard was her screaming, him screaming, and all they see is this horrendous
Yeah. And
fucking
then
murder
the windows
scene.
open and
Of
Rod
course,
is gone.
he's yeah. Yeah.
So now Nancy's dad, the cop, is getting the rundown on Tina.
They call the cops, and just so happens that Lieutenant Daddy comes, and he's like, "What was she doing there?" And she's like,
It's
"I
like,
don't know.
that's
She
her
lived
friend.
there."
Like, what do you mean? That's what she's doing there.
Well, and that's what she was like. Yeah, you don't know that these. She had a picture.
Oh,
because
because she was there with these two other guys. And it's like,
shacking up.
they're teenagers, bro.
She was like, she had a dream that somebody was gonna kill her,
And then
that's
they
why
did.
we were there, Dad.
And on the news, they're still looking for Rod. And Nancy, next morning, she's like up and ready for school.
She's going to fucking school in her little sweater vest. She got up in the morning, chose a fucking slack and sweater vest combo, and is like,
That's
I'm
like
going
the
to school.
teacher's outfit.
I'm
Like,
sorry.
Even in 1984.
I'm probably going to be upset if I like had seen you horrifically gashed up.
Oh, I'm sorry. I have big razor claw marks in me and just
Sure,
a
like
puddle
if it
of
was-
blood everywhere.
Right, a big old bloody mess, and I suspected
And
your
you were
husband
just in the
of
next
killing
room when
you,
it happened.
and I was just over there hearing you scream to death.
Yeah, I don't think I'd be going to school the next
I would
day,
be
Nancy.
like not doing it, but also milking that for a really long fucking
Yeah.
time after
She's
that.
like, oh, I'm just going to go crazy
if
up
that
there in my
happens
room
to
alone.
me, you have my permission to milk
to
that
just
for
milk
days.
it. Nice.
All of you.
And she's like, I'll sleep in study hall.
No.
Really?
But a man in a suit and sunglasses is watching her walk to school.
Right. That's weird. She's being watched, and she like
And then
looks
Rod,
again.
still shoeless Rod,
Shoeless Rod from Hannibal Bud.
pops out of the bushes.
That's why I was saying, is this like the next fucking day? 'Cause
Yeah,
he still
this
ain't
is
got
the
no
next
fucking
morning.
shoes. And when he's in jail again, he's got shoes. It's mysterious.
They must have provided him with some.
But he's still really.
Yeah, I don't know.
He's
It's
got
all
his
bloody
jacket
and shit. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. But he grabs her and pulls her into the bushes, and he's like, I didn't do it.
Yeah, and he's like, I never touched her. And then, of course, this was all a ruse. Like, she's not part of it, but her
she
dad
asked him again.
lured
She's
her
like,
in.
well, the door was locked from the inside. Like, how could it not be you?
And he's like, I didn't see, like, I
didn't
could see that
who it
something was
It
happening, but I
just-
couldn't see
I just
them.
saw her getting cut. And that's when her dad, of course, he's like been following her. He used her as bait. And they arrest poor shoeless Rod.
And what the hell were you doing going to school anyway?
Yeah. The hell were you doing
Good
going
question,
to school?
Dad. So the English teacher
Oh.
is that actress from Kingpin.
Lynn Shay.
Yes.
Lynn Shay.
The leather titty lady. If you don't know who Lynn Shay is. She was so funny. As
I don't know what it
that
is
character.
about good sex that makes me have to crap.
Oh God, I haven't watched that in so long, but I remember
That's-
just
I
being
remember that
horrified. Just like, what the fuck? Oh God.
Fairly Brothers are gross.
And oh my God, I have a note. Listening to people read out loud in English class in high school.
It
That
depends.
was torture.
Really? It depends. If they're reading good.
Well, yeah. So there were certain people you knew that it was fine.
Right.
It was like a half, maybe less of the class that you were like, all right, that's fine. It's whatever.
To fucking participate.
But there were some kids who you
like,
knew, and it's like if you knew then what you knew now, you'd realize, oh no, they
yeah,
can't really
gotta,
read
like,
good.
a learning. They just can't read good. They needed
But back
to go
then
to the
they were just like
Derek
fucking
Zoolander School for kids
today,
that can't-
Junior.
Right. I say that shit a lot too.
Like this is taking so long. Please.
Why?
I read this paragraph 3 times already, and you're still struggling through it.
Well, luckily she falls asleep, and then
Yeah.
when he's reading
Luckily
it
for
still,
whom?
it's like, and then I was dead. Nancy.
So yeah, Tina's just out there in her body bag. Just out there, just standing
I
up
hate the body bag.
in her clear
Tina.
body bag, which they don't have clear body bags, I don't think.
hate the body bag, Tina.
And she follows her giant blood streak.
Of course, because she leaves. She's on her period. She left a big old streak. She's got to go help
She's
her
like,
friend.
Tina, I have a tampon for you.
Tina,
Please
I
come
have
back.
a massive pad for you.
And then she sees Tina's now being dragged by her feet
Oh, this part. This part.
by an invisible something.
Her legs lift and her hand flopping over. Oh, that's the worst part of the movie to me. That's the worst part of the movie to me.
And she runs into this pig-tailed hall guard.
Who has a stripy sweater on? But oh shit, it's not Freddy Krueger. It's the hall monitor.
It's just the hall monitor.
Where's your pass? Screw your pass.
No running in the hallway.
No running in the hallway.
She's
No,
got the glove.
but now she's asleep, apparently. She's dreaming.
So now she follows the blood all the way to the boiler room from Tina's nightmares.
Yep, downstairs.
And Freddy comes out to say hello.
Hi.
And he decides to just cut himself open to show her how he's full of maggots.
Yep, maggots and green goo. That's
Welcome
what's in there.
to Freddy Land.
Hello. I mean, I guess he could have cut off another finger.
Yeah.
But he decided to do something else this time.
And then he just starts maniacally giggling, and he just comes at her without speaking. He starts coming for her.
So she decides, in her infinite wisdom, to burn herself.
On the steam pipe thing to wake herself up.
That wakes her up. But she also has taken a burn into real life.
Yeah, so she wakes up screaming in class. They're like, we'll call your mom.
Does that like, come to Freddy. La, 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 la.
So she wakes up, freaks out. Right. She goes home early, notices she has the burn.
Like, hey.
She doesn't know what to do. She's just like, okay.
Do you think that any one of them have heard about what happened to Tina? Has anybody heard?
It's the next
they have
day.
A funeral for Rod, but they never have a funeral for Tina.
Well, they're looking for Rod on the news that night. So it was on the news.
They never have a fucking funeral for Tina, though.
That's true. They have a funeral for Rod and not Tina, even though they think Rod murdered Tina.
I know.
I never thought about that.
Never once. Like, Tina was too trash to get buried or what?
Or her mom never came back from Vegas.
Oh, they weren't able
She's
to
like,
find
my kid's
her.
dead? Bye.
They weren't able to find her?
Maybe.
North Las Vegas is where she lives. She lives in Henderson.
Or her boyfriend never brought her back from Vegas and she dead too.
Oh man, she's
so
somewhere
put
on
it together.
Yep, she's somewhere on the outskirts of town. She's got to get the no, not that one. Yeah, that is that one. Yeah, the fucking CSI guy. The dad.
Was that
from
Vegas?
Fucking, there was one.
Why do I associate that guy with like Florida? I don't know why.
No, that one is Florida, but there's another one.
There's a Vegas
who
one.
Who are you? That one is the
I don't know what
that's
that
the Vegas one, and that's the dad from Fear.
Oh, okay.
Hold on. I'm gonna let. Is that my fucking?
That
doorbell?
was your doorbell. Hold on. We'll be right back.
If you're a fan of Practical Magic or the Sookie Stackhouse books and love shows like Absolutely Fabulous and The Golden Girls, you're in for a treat with this new paranormal comedy, House of Furies by Donnie Clark.
The Fury family, Witch Alex, his sister Agatha, and their long-suffering mother Rose inherit a rambling mansion in Natchitoches, Louisiana from their reclusive Uncle Edwin, along with a heap of trouble.
There's secret passageways, magical objects, even a cemetery instead of a backyard, and it comes with a friendly caretaker named Earl who's not what he seems.
Cocktails, outrageous outfits, and black magic are the order of the day. Join them as they explore the southern fried town, dip a toe in the local dating pool, and meet their neighbor Helen, who harbors a very old and very dark secret.
House of Furies by Donnie Clark, available to purchase on Amazon, $4.99 for Kindle and $21.99 for paperback.
I don't know where we left off.
I really
now
am
we're
not
back.
sure.
The doorbell rang and it was Tessa's husband and child.
They came home way earlier than expected.
But now we're back and Nancy goes to jail to visit Rod.
Oh yeah, she goes over there. She wants to find out what happened. What really happened. She's over there talking to him. And he's like, I didn't do it. What do you think of some kind of fucking fruitcake or something?
Because he didn't see nothing, just cuts happening all at once, not who was doing it.
4 of them at the same time.
And he thought and it reminded him of that nightmare he had about the guy with the knives for fingers.
The night before. Tina was very explicit
about, this is my concern.
What the dream was and what the configuration of this person that she saw in her dream was. And all of them who have seen this shit.
Okay, I had to lower my mic. It was loud.
Have heard her say this, and they had all had the same fucking dream on the same fucking night, apparently. And they're like, oh, thin-lipped Tina, you're so stupid.
Nobody believes you, trash.
Right?
You're such trash, Tina.
I've seen your mom, Tina.
So Nancy doesn't even let him know that she believes him. She just backs slowly away.
He's like, will you believe me, don't you?
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
And then just exits.
And then leaves.
Stage left.
I mean, what could she say?
And now, why would your first move as Nancy be to go get in a luxurious bubble bath?
Sure, she went home
with
and
your
took a bath.
inflatable
She's got to think
bath
about it.
pillow.
She's got to think about it. She needs some bath time.
My mom had one of those inflatable seashell-shaped bath pillows that suction cup to the back of the tub.
That is the height of luxury. You had it with those little plastic ball things, not the bath bombs. That's different.
No, the bath beads.
The bath beads.
The oils.
Yeah.
And they were rubbery.
Yeah.
As they got warm.
And when they would heat up, they would dissolve. Mm-hmm. And every once in a while, I would have to fight the urge to bite them.
Yes, because they seem like, like a gusher.
Yes. Forbidden gusher.
Yes. Why would you? Avon. Out here making forbidden gushers for children.
Bed Bath and Beyond. Or not Bed Bath and Beyond. Bath and Body Works.
Or whoever. Yeah. I don't know who
the
made
Body Shop.
Oh,
that's
the Body
who it was.
Shop.
It was the fucking Body Shop.
I bet it was.
It was the
fancy one.
The
Yeah,
fucking
that's the fancy
Body
one.
Shop at the mall.
So of course we get this. This was not the poster, but close to or this was just one of
she
the
was in the
stills.
bed with the thing with the hand
Okay.
like over her face.
But
So it
this
wasn't
image
this.
of her with her
Oh,
legs
yes.
open in the bath with the razors
Yes,
coming up
that comes
between
out of
her
the thing.
legs.
It's iconic.
Yeah, that's memories right
Absolutely.
there.
Well, like her mom is like, I heated up some milk for you.
And she's all gross, which warm
I know,
milk,
I don't want
gross.
hot
No, thank
milk.
you.
I'm like, did you put any Baileys in there?
Right? Like, why
Marge?
is it just hot milk? What do I do with that?
She's always at the ready. Have you noticed this? That much like me, apparently, Marge like just reaches out her hand and pulls back a chilled bottle of vodka. Like
They're
all
everywhere. They're all over. They're in the towel
like, woo,
cupboard.
woo, woo. It's like a Pokemon. She's
Yeah.
like,
She's got
vodka, I choose you.
When like she apparently is just living off alimony and child support, and she just doesn't have anything to do all day except for make
Fabulous
warm milk
Marge.
and drink vodka.
Fabulous Marge.
Like you don't even know what time of day it is when she's
Nope.
talking to her mom because she's in her
Nope.
pajamas, and
She
you're like, is
sounds-
it day? Is it night?
She sounds drunk all the
Or
time.
are you
Before-
drinking at 7 a.m., 7
Before they
p.m.?
make it explicit that that's what Marge has been up to, like she sounds like you're like, oh Marge, oh poor orange drunk Marge.
Yeah.
She's so orange.
Yeah. She's
Like
got
her
too
whole
much
tone.
brinzer.
She's been brinsed, and once
She's
you've
been
been brinsed,
brinsed.
you can't be unbrinsed. You can't be unbrinsed.
So she's like knocking on the door, wakes her up before the claw gets her.
Right.
And she's like, you could drown in there.
I know you can't fall. Don't fall
She's
asleep.
like,
in there.
whatever, mom.
God, mother.
Immediately falls to fucking sleep
Oh,
in the
you
bath.
dumb bitch! And she gets whoop.
Sucked down into the watery underworld with Freddy.
I guess they filmed. Well, first they did the bathtub thing with like the cutout and the whatever, but they did this with like in somebody's pool with like trash bags
Oh, okay.
taped up at the top, and with all the struggling, you had to find that one little square where you could get out and not drown.
Oh, that's scary.
Well, they all thought it was kind of dangerous. It probably wasn't as bad because it was just push it up a little bit. You'll
guess.
find it eventually.
So mom, she's screaming and flailing, and mom
Right.
comes running and picks the lock.
I know she comes with her wire hanger.
Oh,
She
she
can
ready.
undo the thing like it's not even up at the top of the door jamb with the little to get it open.
And by the time she
Marge,
gets in there, Nancy's out. She's like, no, it's fine. I'm okay. I just slipped in the tub.
I saw a spider or some shit. Like
And then why does she lock the door again?
I know.
You almost just died, and your mom had to pick the lock to wake your ass up, and you
Seriously.
immediately locked the door.
This is why we don't lock doors in this house.
I guess it's because she's about to go through the medicine cabinet looking for no-dos, but like
I know she found like Marge just has some trucker's choice fucking.
that's what it should have been called. Trucker's choice.
That's what it was in The Simpsons. That's where I got it from. It was
It's a good
trucker's
name
choice.
for it.
Yeah.
So she tries to stay up, but like, okay, in the midst of everything that's going on in like nightmares,
I know.
you're gonna put on Evil Dead 2,
I know.
which we were just watching.
I know. We were just watching that. That's
But
funny.
I'm not having nightmares about Freddy
No.
Krueger. And if I
No.
was, I don't think Evil Dead 2 would be the thing that would soothe my fucking
Right.
stress.
And even if I was just having nightmares about Freddy Krueger, at least I'm not being attacked in my home.
no.
It's not real. It's just a dream.
So she shuts it off. She opens her window for some fresh air. And why is Glen just lurking outside the fucking window?
Comes to her
Window. We haven't
She
had
was
one of
just
those
in
in a
town.
minute.
Did you know
Yes, I think some people we know went to see her and
that?
posted
Did you, I'm
something
sure she
about
played
it.
that song. I'm sure
She has to.
absolutely
You guys,
did.
does Melissa Etheridge play?
Right?
Oh, with Jewel. What?
Shut the
I did
fuck
not know
up.
this.
Right now.
Jewel
I
and
would
Melissa
have
Etheridge.
gone.
I did not see any promotion for that.
Wow, I would have had on my little like bisexual
Jewel with
ankle
just her
sock.
tiny little tooth.
I know,
Just that
with her
tiny
little
tooth.
snaggle tooth. She's so cute. Is she still cute?
I don't
She's so
know. Is she still cute? Okay, good.
She's on TikTok.
Oh, Jewel on TikTok.
Jewel's on TikTok. I'm not on TikTok, but Jewel is.
And he climbed this rose trellis in bare feet.
I know. He didn't even wear no shoes over there. Like
Fool, you came from your bedroom. You don't have shoes in there? Slippers even?
right?
Nothing?
You like snuck out of your house. I mean, I know it's only right across the street.
And so they've like apparently maybe grown up together across the street.
The
I don't
timeline
know.
is unclear because I also have questions later on. Was like, so do Glen's parents also know?
Because they act like she's just that girl from across the street.
Right.
So it doesn't seem like a kid he grew up with. So maybe
Right.
she's
They don't
newer
seem
to
to
the
like
neighborhood.
her.
No. And he just calls her that kid. It's not even that
I
girl
know.
or the girl. It's like that kid.
I know. Her father is a lieutenant.
Right? So
Her mother is a drunk. Her father is a lieutenant. Her mother is a tangerine.
yes, that's all she is.
She's a satsuma.
So Glen wants to know what happened to her arm, and she's like, I burned it in English class. And no questions?
Right?
No
No, follow-ups.
questions.
Well,
I burned
nobody,
it in English class.
not once, not once.
We're not science.
Nobody has ever accused Glen of being bright.
And she looks in the mirror and she goes, oh God, I look 20 years old.
She is 20
Bitch.
years old.
Bitch.
I know. I'm going to slap the
This
shit
isn't,
out of
Freddie
you.
didn't start saying bitch yet until like
No.
number 3 or 4. But
Because
like,
he heard this shit.
he was like, he was thinking of Nancy every time he said it.
Bitch.
Nancy talking about, I look 20 years old.
And she is 20 years old.
And you don't even have that gray streak yet. Just wait.
I know. Just wait, bitch.
You're about
You'll
to look like
older.
the mom from Poltergeist.
You're older than you've ever been, and now you're even older.
So she wants Glen to stand guard. And you think it's like,
Yeah.
well, you
could-
assume it's for her. She's going to go to sleep and he's supposed to wake her up.
Right. She's like, you just don't fall asleep, Glen.
Fade to black. He turns off the lamp, fade to black. So cut to her walking out in her front yard, barefoot in her
Right.
pajamas. And she calls out to see if Glen is watching and he pops out from behind a tree. So it's a little
Here I
confusing
am.
because you're
I
like,
know.
wait, is she
How-
asleep? Or
Well,
this is
yeah.
really happening?
But how is he in there if
Yeah,
he's
she can
not
call him into
also
the dream
asleep?
while
Hold
he's
on.
awake?
Well, whatever. She's gone out there to look for someone. She
Yeah.
does not say she's going out there to look for someone. And
Yeah.
she walks down that same alleyway that Tinta was in. She goes to all the same places.
And she heads over to the jail.
Right. She also walks over to the jail and she sees Freddy come through.
Coming in for Rod.
Right. He goes through the bars. She's trying to wake up. She's
calling for Glen, and now he's not answering because
No,
his
of
ass
course
is
not.
asleep.
Of course not. He had one fucking job. He's only had
And
one
it's only
fucking
like
job.
10 p.m. at this
I
point.
know.
Like, come on, Glen.
You are like a 16-year-old boy and you're telling me you can't stay up past 11:45.
And like, she's been asleep for 10 minutes, Glen.
And also,
Maybe.
you also had a nightmare, Glen.
Yeah. Well, we don't know. Glen never says. Glen always acts like
I
he ain't
saw
having no
his
nightmares.
face.
But he acts like he's not having
Well,
no
he
nightmares.
says he sleeps like a rock. I bet you he's dumb as shit. He's too stupid to
Freddie
dream.
don't even want to fuck with them. 'cause
Right? He's like, oh,
whatever.
I don't want to
You're
go
too
in there.
easy.
That's too dumb.
You're too easy. So she calls out to Glen. He's not answering. And she sees Freddie walk right through the bars. And
Yeah.
he looks right at her
Yeah.
as he uncovers the blanket from Rod.
Oh.
But now she woke him up from all her...
Right. Her alarm goes off.
Right. And now... oh, no, not yet, because Tina's calling for her in her body bag
Oh,
again.
shit. Tina's right outside of the
And that
jail.
millipede comes out of her mouth.
I hate it. She hated it.
And
she spit
did they
out
really...
no. She spit out a fake one.
Okay.
And they made a
Fake mouth
little
that
fake
had-
mouth
oh.
that had a real one, and they put that together. But what the fuck is that shit on her feet?
Shit eels is what I wrote, because I'm like, what is it? Oh, are they
Probably-
snakes? Are they eels? Is it
Probably-
worms?
No, they're
I don't
shit
know.
eels. You were
Shit
correct.
eels.
I don't know if that's a
Because
thing,
they're
but it is now.
muddy and I don't know.
And it's not even like they're like, it's like gray mud. How do you
I don't know, man.
Why?
So, and then she sees Tina's face on Freddy, and he like pulls off
he
Tina's
comes up
face
to the
off
door.
his face.
She runs up to the door and she has those like, it's oatmeal and a bunch of shit in the stairs when she runs up to the thing.
Mm-hmm.
And he busts through the little door window like, help me, save me from Freddy. He
And
like
it's
rips off Tina's face.
But yeah, those oatmeal steps, that's a very good dream. Like
Yeah,
the
like
slow
you can't run,
the you can't get anywhere for some reason.
Exactly.
So she finally, so her alarm goes off. She wakes up. Glen, you fucking bastard.
Yeah,
All you had to do was stay awake.
You had one fucking job.
And so his mom's coming, so her mom's coming, so he
Right.
goes out the window. And she's like, don't leave. Just stay
stay
right
here
the
for a
window.
second.
So they go back out after her mom leaves, and they head down to the police station because she wants to see Rod. She's like, it's urgent.
Right. She saw some shit going on in her dream. She has to go make sure Rod's okay.
And while she's trying to get in there, his sheet is twisting up and around his throat.
Which is a pretty good effect, but you could see the little string that it's attached to.
I
or
didn't
at least
see it.
The little wire.
I didn't notice it while I was watching it anyway.
Well, I mean, it just looks like it's a little piece of fluff on the... It ain't bad. It ain't bad.
And her dad comes out like, "Oh, young lady,
well, that fucking
what are you
deputy
doing out here?"
That fucking Barney Fife head ass is like, I don't know what I did with the keys to the fucking jail.
Yeah,
I don't know where the keys are to the cells in the jail. And I'm sorry, this is the only prisoner,
right? Just Rod,
because it's awfully quiet in there.
It is.
One criminal.
Just him by himself.
So she begs her dad to go down and just look at Rod.
Right.
And meanwhile, Rod's eyes open and he sees the sheet and he's like trying to fight it.
Oh shit! But no.
And just as they're about to enter the cell, he gets strung up and hung.
And did it?
Why is he already like so dead?
Snap his. I know.
He's very gray and ashen. Like 1 second after he died.
Seriously, like his blood all just dropped to his feet
immediately. So now it's Rod's funeral. So again, like we talked about before,
like,
Rod gets a funeral.
And we never see Rod's family, Rod's parents, and they're not at the funeral, apparently.
No, I don't. You
Or, like,
never
you don't
meet
ever
any
see-
of Rod's family.
Nope.
It's like everyone in
Nope.
town came to the suspected murderer's funeral.
Sure,
but
but
we had
not.
no funeral
But
for the
Tina was
victim.
never buried. She was just like thrown away whole because poor Tina was trash. They put her out on Tuesday for the
went in
big
the
trash
recycle
pickup.
bin.
They had to call ahead. They're like, we got a bulk pickup.
And now I have a note here. Did Nancy have that giant pimple on her forehead in every single shot?
Oh shit! I didn't notice.
I don't know if it's a mole that they tried to cover with like flesh tone because
like
she
makeup?
has a bump that is so big on her forehead, and you
Wow.
especially see it when they're outdoors at the funeral scene. But I had noticed it
daylight?
before. And in fact, when they go to the dream thing,
Yeah.
and they're about to glue that thing or stick the tape down
Yeah.
to do the, it looks like it popped and there's stuff coming out of
Oh
it.
no! I
Like
never
because they probably
noticed.
kept putting the tape, you know what I mean? Like
And
if they had to
then ripping
reshoot
it
it
off?
and they ripped it off.
Oh no!
And I was like, I've never noticed that before, and I do have a pretty
No.
big TV. And so I guess it was just this viewing, but I'm like,
never
I don't know
noticed.
if
She
she
had a
has a
boil?
mole, but she had some sort of big old lump on her forehead.
Do you see it?
Leona's looking it up. Is it not? Am I imagining it? Because I saw it multiple times.
Multiple
times. I saw it so many times.
Multiple.
This is it that you speak of.
Yes.
Is
Is
this
it not
the
ginormous? It's like a
What
third
is that?
eye. And like I don't know how long it took
Oh.
to film this movie, but she had it in almost every
It's a big
scene.
one.
That's it's a
Yeah.
big one.
Yes, it's
it
yeah,
looks
right
like
over
it
her
hurts.
eye. So anyway,
Wow.
so Nancy tells her
I never
dad the
noticed that.
killer is still loose, but she
Right.
doesn't know who he is. But he's burned and he wears a weird hat and a
I
red
know,
and green
it's like,
sweater
oh,
and he's really
what? Ooh,
dirty.
what?
And he has knives like giant fingernails and her dad's
Hold
like,
on.
get into mom's car.
I know. And she's like, I'm doing something better. I'm going to get her some help. So do they immediately drive straight over to
to
the sleep
place?
institute?
I don't know. In her Volvo.
Oh my God. My grandma had a Volvo. Like the boxy one. It was like a powder blue boxy
Nice.
Volvo and it smelled like a Volvo.
Nice.
A grandma's Volvo. It had those hard seat, the head things on
Yeah.
the seats. Like they can't roll it. Like everybody got to drive it because it was so safe.
So yeah, she apparently immediately takes her to the Center for Sleep Disorders, where
Yeah.
Charles Fleischer, Roger Rabbit,
Yes, Roger Rabbit
is
wants
your
to watch
sleep
her
doctor.
sleep.
How to watch you sleep.
Oh, please. I can't do it, but she
And
can.
like they let her mom stay to
And
watch
smoke?
this and smoke in the fucking where all this equipment is.
She is stressed.
So so everything's going fine. They're watching her fall
She's
asleep. She's in REMs.
He's listing off all of the things that she's doing as she goes through
Right.
the
This
stages
is normal.
of
Blah
sleep.
blah
Right,
blah.
right.
And then bam, she starts to like thrash
I've never
around.
seen ratings this high. Like it's crazy.
And when they rush in and wake her up, she has a gray streak in her hair.
Whoa!
And you're not going to show us what happened in this dream sequence
know.
in 10
She
seconds
has
that
a
made her
gray
gray?
streak in her hair, a cut on her arm,
Yes.
and his hat
in her hand. Like all this happened in literally 5 to 10 seconds. Like show me this scene.
And poor drunk orange Marge is like, I don't know where she got that from.
She just looks terrified.
Right.
She's seen this hat. She knows
I
the
know
hat.
she knows the fucking hat, but she is so deep in denial. She's like, I don't know where she would have gotten it from in the fucking doctor's office that I took her at the Sleep Institute. We laid her down and hooked up all that shit to her. The hat wasn't there. And when she woke up, there it was.
So that night, Nancy comes downstairs and hears her mom on the phone talking about the hat.
Uh-oh.
And she comes in and her mom's like, did you sleep at all? And she's like,
Is she talking to the dad, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
She's like, did you ask dad to have the hat examined? And she's like, no, I threw it away.
Yeah, it's gone. And she's like, you just need to get some sleep. Like, ma'am, no.
Come on now.
No, the last thing any of these people need is
the worst
fucking
advice.
sleep.
Is the worst advice.
She has told you numerous times, and every time she goes to sleep, some shit happens. Marge.
And so somehow Nancy knows the hat is just in the very first drawer she opens in the kitchen.
It's just right there. And when she throws that hat at Marge, that's like stone fucking cold. That whole like, bah.
Uh-huh.
And I guess I think it was before this when Marge slaps her.
Or no, I think it's right after
Is
this.
it right
where
after
she's
this?
like, it says right in the hat, his name's Fred Krueger. Do you know who that is? You better tell me. And she's like, just trust me for once and go to sleep. And then she insinuates her mom's a drunk. And Mom
maybe I should
slaps
get that
her
bottle.
one.
She said she hit her for real.
Yeah, I saw that.
She didn't mean to, I guess, but she hit her for real. Because I guess they got along really well.
Yeah, they said they were both really into that scene.
Yeah.
And the girl who plays the mom, I don't know when that documentary is from. She's gained quite a bit of weight, but because of it, she looks young.
I know.
She's fat, but she looks young as fuck, you guys. She looks like younger than she looked in Nightmare on Elm Street.
Right, and she wasn't like nearly as orange.
No. She looked, I mean, other than being plump, she looked good.
Look how fucking orange you fucking look, girl.
So yeah, she gets the slap and she's like, look, Fred can't come after you. He's dead. I know. And she's like, oh, you knew about him?
Hold on.
And you acted like I made this shit up?
I would have been so mad. You've been treating me like I'm fucking crazy all this time. When
and she throws her frosty vodka bottle right on the floor.
Oh, bitch, I just paid for that shit.
Well, it's like 7 a.m., I'm pretty sure. I think she's on her way to school.
That was $7.99.
Right? In 1984?
It didn't even have a handle. It wasn't even a plastic jug.
No, that was...
that was glass. I'm saying, it was frosty. Every time when she pulls it out of bed later,
I feel like the bottle is a frosted bottle because I thought the same thing. Because even when she pulled it out of the towel pantry, it was frosty.
She pulled it out of like her bed sheets.
They got refrigerated towels?
It was out of her butt locker.
Oh,
she got a frosty butt locker.
Oh.
That's what Marge has.
And then this weird little scene where Nancy and Glenn go for a walk, it seems to only serve the purpose of showing you that Nancy bought a booby trap book.
Right. She bought a booby trap book.
They had to be a quick little scene where you knew Nancy knew about booby traps.
He was also looking up dream skills. This is
talking about dream skills.
Like you just turn your back on it. You don't give it any energy and then like
it disappears.
Right.
And she's like, I'm into survival.
I'm into survival.
Yeah.
Bye.
So as it gets dark, she heads home and finds bars on all of her house windows.
Gross.
No more window visits from Glenn. No more coming
she
to your
took
window.
down the trellises, the rose bush.
And here's Mom still in the same jammies she's been in since 7 a.m.
And now she is sauced.
With a new bottle of vodka under her arm.
Sauced and chilled.
And she's like, where she comes to the cellar.
It's locked. It's all locked.
And it's like, I'll tell you who the bars are for.
Right. I'm going to tell you what's going on. I know exactly. Come down here.
Let me
show
just
you what's up.
Tell you a story by the furnace.
Yes. Come down here while I'm drunk. I'm loose enough to tell you.
You want to know who Fred Krueger was?
I'll tell you who Fred Krueger was.
A filthy child murderer who killed at least 20 kids in the neighborhood.
Right. Okay.
But someone forgot to sign a search warrant in the right place.
Right.
And he went free.
On trial and then he went free on a
technicality. And that's where she says, so a bunch of us parents, so unless Nancy had an older sibling, you were not one of the parents. You were a kid.
Right.
When this happened.
A bunch of her parents?
Yeah.
Because that would make sense.
Found him in an abandoned boiler room where he used to take the kids and took gasoline, poured it around, lit it on fire.
Lit it on fire.
So he can't get you because he's dead and Mommy killed him.
Mommy killed him. And here's his glove that's probably evidence that's in my fucking boiler
that I've been keeping in an old rag stuffed in the furnace.
Where did you get that, Marge?
Well, didn't you say there was another version or something where like she was more the head
that
of
she was the one that killed him or whatever, because I think that went along with the older
with having the older siblings
thing where he had killed all their older siblings. They all, I guess, tried again. But that was my whole question about Glen's parents. Like, were they part of that? Because in the neighborhood, were Tina's parents part of that?
Which one of them is?
They
new
all
to the
live pretty
neighborhood?
close.
So Glen in his crop top finest. When Nancy
Nipped
calls.
at the waist with them sweatpants rolled down. They're not gray, but they're light blue.
And they look at each other out the window on the phone.
She calls him. She's like, come to your window so I can see you.
And she's like, it's been almost a week since I slept. And I know who the killer is.
But the record is 11 days, so don't worry about me.
And if he gets me, you're next.
Yep.
So I'm going to bring him out of the dream, and I want your help. And he's like, oh, okay,
all right.
whatever. You're nutty as a fruitcake, but I love you anyway.
Yeah.
And he's like, she says, we both come out, you whack the fucker, and we got him.
Exactly.
And he's like,
but
what? What am I supposed
then,
to do?
Don't
go
fall
to sleep.
asleep.
And he immediately puts his headphones on and his TV. Great,
the first
in
thing
bed.
he fucking does.
Great way not to fall asleep,
is
Glen.
Fall asleep.
At like 11:30 p.m. on a
Nothing
weekend.
but tumbleweeds between the fucking ears, Glen.
Nothing.
A prairie wind.
And now this part confuses me because Nancy is trying to fall asleep now, yet she takes a bunch of no-dos and drinks a bunch of coffee before she tries to, is that so she won't sleep heavy? I guess.
I don't know what she's...
So she can wake right up?
And then Glen's mom comes in to wake him up to tell him to go to bed.
Right. And he was like, oh, she's like, how do you have the headphones and the TV? He's like, oh, it's just Miss Nude America.
And it's only 11:42. So she called him like 2 minutes ago and he's asleep.
Her fucking earrings on. Mrs. Glen has her pearls on. She has her high-necked
Right? At
house dress on.
11:42? Ma'am, get comfortable in your own house.
I bet you she's wearing hosiery. I bet
Is she a Barbara?
That's what I'm saying.
She got the hosiery on a weekend?
Mrs. Glen. And his dad, too, looks like a football coach.
Yes, he does.
I bet you he wears pinky rings. He looks like the kind of guy that wears a pinky
Yep,
ring.
for sure. So Nancy's mom comes in to take her no-dos and all her coffee and her coffee cups.
Right. In her drunk robe.
And she immediately, as soon as mom leaves, she has another running brewing coffee pot.
Yeah, she's got a secret coffee. She drinks some secret
so
coffee.
So mom had 2 coffee pots in the house, or where did you just happen to find a second coffee pot?
Coffee pot stores vodka.
Oh, one coffee pot usually has vodka.
That's right. She wasn't making any kind of coffee.
And she sees Glen's parents outside looking at her house and closes her blinds. And Glen's like, I think that kid's a lunatic or something.
Right. Like his dad's not.
I don't want her hanging out with Glen anymore.
Just, her mom's kind of weird.
So now Nancy's burn is for some reason bleeding. She's had that burn wrapped up in gauze and now it's bleeding. It was only ever a burn.
Because he's close.
Don't know why.
It's because he's close.
She puts on her jacket and goes to leave and spots her mom getting the spared vodka out of the towel
Right. She's
cupboard.
like, it's locked. It's locked. All of it's locked.
She calls Glen, but he's already asleep.
Well,
and his mom's
like, it's her.
And she's like, look, it's private and important. And the dad gets on the phone and
Hey,
he's like,
he
you
went
can
to
talk
bed.
to him tomorrow.
You can talk to him tomorrow. Bye.
And takes the phone off the hook.
Oh, shit. Is it going to make that noise?
Like,
is that going to be loud
It
enough?
only did it for a little while, and then I think it would stop.
Oh, that was enough
I think
for me.
it would go
hate
for
that
a minute or
fucking noise.
something, and then it stopped.
I hate that noise. I mean, maybe because it was downstairs, didn't do it everywhere.
And her phone rings, and she hears scratch sounds. And she pulls the phone cord out of the wall.
I know.
Brilliant.
Of course, and wraps it up and throws it on the bed, and then she goes to leave, and
The phone starts ringing.
oh no, but it's unplugged.
I'm your boyfriend now, Nancy. And I think you can buy. There's people that sell
with the
like
little
art
phones.
pieces. That's the phone with the Freddy tongue coming out of it.
I love it.
And she runs to the door to get out, but it's locked because mom locked everything up and she's drunk, passed out on
Yep.
the couch.
Oh, I gotta keep you here. You're gonna get some sleep if it kills me.
And right at midnight, Freddy comes for Glen.
Oh shit!
Very unceremoniously. You don't
I
get
know,
to see
it's
him
like
chase
nope,
Glenn.
nope,
There's no
nope.
interaction between
It's
him and Glenn.
Real world experience. He's asleep in his room in the real world. Freddy's glove comes up and yanks him down.
Sucks
into
him
the
down
bed.
in a fountain, beyond a fountain of blood.
Gallons of blood.
Shoot onto the ceiling.
And this is the same room that they shot Tina's murder
Okay.
in. They just restyled it because it was the rotating room, so they flipped it upside
and
down.
how much
and-
blood was that? Did they say?
It was gallons.
Gallons and
I'm
gallons.
sure they
and
did, and I
gallons.
meant to look it up, but it
And
was
his
like gallons
mom
of blood.
comes in.
And
Oh
how
my
could
Lord.
they think that anybody had anything to do with
This
that?
has to be supernatural? Like,
Yes.
what
Over 500 gallons.
Over
Over
500 gallons of fake blood?
I took a 0 off of
the
that.
fuck? 50 was what I was
Yeah.
thinking.
I know that they said something about like you could hear it like
Most of it used for Glen's bed.
Oh, so 500 total for the
500
movie.
for the whole
500
movie,
for the whole movie.
But most of it was that was the most.
Yeah, okay.
And it was inspired by the Shining's elevator
gushing
of
blood scene.
You know.
So Nancy's dad arrives and sees her looking out the window.
Oh,
that was
500
just for
just
Glenn?
for that?
That was just for Glen.
Oh.
And it was
Wow.
the same revolving room that was used for
Yeah,
Right,
that's what
for
she said.
Tina's,
Okay.
yeah.
So the ambulance and police arrive, and Nancy's dad arrives, and he sees her looking from her window, all sad, and waves.
Right. She calls her dad.
What happened? And he's like, "Well, I haven't
We
been
don't
upstairs
know.
yet, but apparently he's dead."
Yeah, like she's like, yeah, but he's dead, right? Like it's dripping through the ceiling.
They have to put like buckets down to
yes,
catch it.
like when the ambulance gets there, like we don't need a stretcher, we need a mop.
Yeah.
But
So she tells her dad, Fred Krueger did it, and only I can get him. It's my
Right.
nightmare. Break
He's-
down the door in 20 minutes exactly.
well,
and
he's like, well,
yeah,
tell
yeah,
me-
sure.
tell me where to go, I'll get him. She's like, it's Fred Krueger. Only I can get him, like you said, and like be here in 20 minutes. So he has another.
involved in killing him?
Who's?
Just her mom?
I know, like
Her mom and dad
but
must
even
have been, but
It
her-
wasn't like all of the parents in the neighborhood.
well,
it's supposed to be
it's
all
a
of the
very
parents in the
loose-
neighborhood. Yeah.
It's so loose. So loose.
But not, I'm guessing Johnny Depp's parents moved in after this happened.
Maybe.
Because they don't seem to be aware.
Well, that and it, like dad seems to know, but maybe didn't do all of that shit. But he would have had to have, because how else would she have gotten the
Well,
glove?
and he got a look when she first started talking about it, when her
Well,
mom
that's what
also
I'm
got
saying,
scared
too,
when
was
he
like,
pushed her in
oh,
the
shit,
car.
yeah.
He knew.
I know. As a cop, how do you not?
And like, instead of watching himself, he sends his dumbass fucking Barney
Another
Fife deputy
fucking
to
Barney
watch her
Fife
house.
head ass, who later says, when there's alarms, fire, screaming over at the house, he tells them if there's anything funny or whatever, you come and get me, you let me know. And there's all of these things going on. He's like, oh, I don't know.
Oh, I'm not sure if I should say anything yet.
Maybe
He's
I
pretty
should go
busy.
get the lieutenant.
So Nancy sets the booby traps.
Yes, she sets the whole thing up. Mom's passed out. She sets up all the shit, and she sets her very futuristic watch that speaks to her.
Casio.
Her fucking Dick Tracy watch that's like alarm set for 20 minutes or whatever the fuck it is.
So she goes downstairs. 10-minute watch timer, sleepy time. She goes downstairs, goes to the basement,
Yeah.
goes for his glove in the furnace, and it's not there.
Oh, so he must have it.
And then she goes down to a sub basement below the basement. That's the
Sure,
boiler
her
room.
subconscious.
Yeah. Oh. And you hear a deep cackle. And she calls out for him, and she's like, "I'm here."
Right.
And she finds like his little sleeping area.
Oh, I
and
know,
that
where
has
he,
like a
like-
crucifix in there.
Uh-huh.
And he's got Glen's Walkman.
His Walkman. His bloody Walkman.
It's right there.
Bloody.
And she starts to run out of time when he spooks her.
Oh!
And she jumps out her dream window into the lawn.
Oh, fuck.
And she got 5 seconds when he comes out, and she jumps him, and she hangs on to him, and she wakes up
does it, whatever.
empty-handed.
No, but he's not there. Where
she's
is
like, "Oh, I'm
he?
just
Fuck,
crazy
I
then, I
guess I am
guess."
just crazy. No, you're not.
And there he is.
Boo.
She yells at her window for help. He's here. He's here.
He's
The deputy's
here.
like, "No,
I
you're
know.
cool. It's fine. There's a fountain of blood in this room with your friend across the street, but you're
with this thing.
good.
Your boyfriend's like really
Your
fucking
dad
dead
said to
over
watch
here.
you and say if anything
He
strange
just
happened, but
said
no,
to
you're
watch.
good.
You're fine. She's breaking fucking windows.
I bet you're on your period.
I know. She must just be menstruating.
That's probably where all the blood in your
That's
boyfriend's
what
room
it
came
is.
from.
That's what it is.
And especially bad.
He got his Red Wings that night.
Could you in that much blood, like fucking 500
gallons of period blood was
used. Oh my Lord. So
you would die.
she breaks out the front door window and is screaming, "He's here, don't let him kill me."
She's like, all the booby traps are going off, like the
He
shit's
gets a
on fucking
sledgehammer
fire.
to the gut.
She
He
Kevin
gets lit on fire.
McAllister's his ass.
She Home Alones him. Exactly. And he's going to split her in two, but he hits a tripwire and that sets off her lamp bomb. And now the deputy's like, oh, maybe I better say something to her dad. Seems like things are exploding in that house.
Daddy comes running.
Yes. And she screams out the window, yeah, Daddy comes running, smoke's coming out. The basement door is open.
They go down there.
And there's fiery footsteps.
They don't see shit down there, but there's fire footsteps going up to her mother's room. My mother!
And Freddy's trying to like fire fuck her mom.
I guess. And then like he burns her up and then she like...
And like this all really happened right in front of her dad's eyes.
I'll see you later.
And
it's because she was so filled with vodka because he was on fire.
She's so
She
flammable,
burned
you guys.
right up. It was like death becomes her.
And then she like sinks down, her corpse is sucked into the bed and leaves a freshly made bed.
Right. And it was like hospital corners and everything.
And the dad is not freaked out enough at all about any of this.
No one's taking this seriously.
All
enough.
he's thinking in that moment is my child support and alimony ends tonight.
Yep.
He's just
in fact, guess who's back in the house?
Exactly.
Baby?
Daddy's moving back in, bitch.
Daddy's home.
Goodbye, Tangerine. Daddy's home.
Daddy's home.
And she's like, she tells him, go downstairs. She'll be there in a minute. And he just does.
I know.
After
Again.
what? You just saw your ex-wife get like sucked down into a bed by spirits or whatever, and you
saw this whole thing, and she's like, "All right, I'm cool. Go ahead and wait for me downstairs."
And he's like, "Yeah,
Daddy.
I'll wait for you. Bye."
Sure, everybody out.
It's fine.
And Freddy's head pushes up out of the sheets, all bloody,
Out of a condom sheets. She had like rubber condom sheets down there.
and she turns her back on him like Naboo.
I'm gonna have to turn my back on you.
This is just a dream. You're not alive. This whole thing's just a dream. I take back every bit of energy I gave you. You're nothing. You're shit.
You're shit.
And he starts to go for her, and the starts to disappear. And then it's daytime, and Mom is gorgeous and feeling great. And she's gonna stop
she
drinking.
doesn't even have a fucking hangover. And you know what? I'm just not gonna do it anymore.
And Glenn's alive, and
Everyone's
Tina's alive, and
alive.
Rod's alive, and it's so foggy.
I know, it's so bright out.
And the Freddy convertible top comes down on the convertible.
And this was their real reaction because it came down way harder and faster.
Oh, really?
Than it was like just like
Oh,
that.
ah.
And they're like, oh shit.
And
And
all the
they-
doors lock and the windows roll
Oh,
up.
we're not doing this.
1, 2, Freddy's coming for you.
And Mom's just waving from the porch.
And she's sucked through the little window
oh
in
my
the
god,
door by
she
Freddy's
turns
arm.
into a fucking Muppet. And, she
And then
gets-
the end. Like, what? The end?
yes.
Who's really dead?
Nobody, everybody. I don't know.
Are they all dead? Well,
It's
clearly
all
Nancy lives
just
because
a
she's in
dream.
number
Well, yeah.
3.
She's in number 3 and 4.
And, well, New Nightmare doesn't count
Well,
because
New
it's like
Nightmare-
breaking the fourth
yes, it
wall.
does.
Well, she's Heather Langenkamp in that,
I
right?
know, but it's so good because it's just so good. You guys should watch that. That's a good
But yeah,
one.
so I said, so like you don't even know who's alive and who's dead at the end,
I
which
know.
is sort of brilliant. Like you could or could not do sequels based on that.
I know.
ending. But we all know they did many.
Oh, they did
so many.
In fact, it will take, if you watch Nightmare on Elm Street all the way through New Nightmare, it takes you 13 hours to do because
Wow.
I've done it.
Wow.
I have done it.
So I don't know if I can't imagine that any of you listening to the show have never seen a Freddy
I know.
Krueger movie.
Not a one.
Not a one.
If you haven't, please,
Please do.
Please tell us.
And not even necessarily, you don't got to start with number 1
No.
because there's very little Freddy in this.
Very much so. It's about 7 minutes.
I
of
would
Freddy.
say almost start at like 3.
3 is great.
3 is
The-
good. We got Patricia Arquette.
Oh,
Nancy's
yes.
back.
She comes back.
I feel like there
the
was-
marionette
Yes,
one is
and
so
the-
good.
pulling that girl into the TV.
Yes.
There was like a lot of good
Oh,
kills
welcome
in that.
to prime time, bitch.
But that's when the bitches start.
yes, that's
If
when
you
the
guys have
bitches
watched
start.
Rick and Morty, and there's that character that's like Freddy Krueger, and
Yes.
he just calls everybody bitch all the
So
time.
does
That
Freddy
is based
Krueger.
on real Freddy Krueger.
So
movies.
does Freddy Krueger. In fact, I was looking up little because I was going to try to make something, not for now, but for by this time, maybe.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we'll see. but it was like a cute little tattoo Freddy claw, and it had like the banner, and it just said "bitch."
Bitch.
I was like, "Oh, it's perfect. I love it."
So yeah, honestly, like I would almost recommend starting with the campier ones first,
Yeah.
and then going back and watching the more actually
Yeah.
scary, like the first one, which was pretty scary.
And definitely don't leave out New Nightmare.
No,
Do
watch
not
New Nightmare.
sleep
You can
on
leave
New
out the
Nightmare.
2010 one. Apparently,
Oh
you can
yeah,
leave
no,
out
that,
the reboot.
That you don't
But
ever.
anything from the
let's
80s
not
or
talk about
90s,
that.
any Freddy movie from the 80s or 90s
Yes.
is worth a watch. I'm not saying
Absolutely.
it's great film.
No, it's fun
But it's
though.
fun and it's going to entertain you. No.
Splendid film.
Liana feels it's splendid
It
film.
is. It is great. It is an icon. It is a. We all know who Freddy Krueger is. If you don't,
I just remembered
What?
another Freddy story, which is that I had a babysitter when I was little who was really into Freddy. So it was a wife and husband, and
Yeah.
the husband was really into Freddy Krueger. And I remember being probably 12,
Yeah.
10 or 12, where I was just at the cusp where I was starting to babysit their kid. Like
Yeah.
they just had babies, and they
Oh,
had
okay.
babysat me when I was a baby, and I was now transitioning into babysitting their kids. And the husband, it was Halloween, and he had found a red and green striped sweatshirt at like the thrift store.
Yeah.
And he was going to be Freddy for Halloween. And I remember sitting on their couch, looking at their television, watching their kid. And the husband was in the bathroom to the left of me. And I saw just a flame.
Oh,
because
no.
he tried to torch the ends of the sleeves of the sweater.
oh no,
That he got from the thrift
so
store,
he
but it
almost
was
became
highly
Freddy Krueger.
flammable material. And luckily, he did it in the bathroom over the sink, where like he immediately was able to turn
Like,
on the
have
water
water?
and put it out. But I just remember being like 1992 or
Whoa.
something and seeing this dude almost light himself up like Freddy.
See, I have a
because-
sweater and I don't want to burn it. Like it's not a wrecked. Oh, cute, a wrecked burnt one. Because it's actually a good sweater. I
Yeah.
bought it fucking the Halloween store.
But
It's
it
a-
was surprisingly nice.
It's a surprise. The tag literally says "A Nightmare on Elm Street." It's like a legit
yeah.
whatever, but it's not burnt. Doesn't have holes in it. But I love that fucking sweater.
So Nightmare on Elm Street fully doomed Tessa and Liana
Oh God,
just to be, I don't know,
I don't know.
traumatized by
I was
seeing this at 10 years
traumatized,
old.
and now I love it. It's just, I don't know.
I don't know if Freddy doomed me really, like because I didn't see it till I was old enough to see it.
I was way too little. 10 years old is too little. to see the
16 is
original.
plenty old enough,
Oh,
I
that's
think, to
plenty.
be
That's
watching
prime-
Freddy Krueger.
Prime
Yeah.
time, bitch.
I probably should have seen it when I was like 13 or 14.
Right, that's the pocket.
But
right
I
there.
didn't I just really didn't like horror stuff until I was older because my parents never watched it. It just wasn't
Yeah.
something that was on. So what
Yeah.
was it adapted to it? And so it took a while for me to get into it and be like, oh,
get
it's
into
it's not that
it.
bad. It's all fake.
Get
It's whatever.
into it. I know, but it's fun.
It's fun.
It's
So
fun.
even though it's way past Halloween for you guys,
Well, this is
This is a
it's
very
Nightmare
spooky-
November. We have brought you the ultimate fucking nightmare.
exactly. So
now we
happy
gotta-
40 years to Freddy.
Yes, Freddy is 40.
Freddy is 40.
Freddy
He's got to
is
be older
40.
than that.
Well, yeah, I'm sure he is.
And this is our second Robert Englund this year because we did Ford
Oh,
Fairlane.
that's right. He's our two-timer.
He's a two-timer.
He's a two-timer.
You two-timer Robert Englund.
Two-timer.
Yeah, follow us on all the social medias. Like, subscribe, rate, review, leave us a message.
Oh, do it. Do it as Robert Englund.
720 Doom. Oh yeah, leave us a Freddy message.
But
Sing
as
a little
Phantom of
song
the
for us.
Opera.
Phantom of the Paradise or Phantom of the Opera?
Well, no, Robert Englund was in a Phantom of the
Oh
Opera
yes,
thing.
that's right. That's right. That's right.
Don't you fuck with me.
And until next week.
We'll talk at you next time.
Later, Doomers.